your every morning.
Yes, good day, boys and girls from coast to coast and around the whole wide entire world. Welcoming you all to the Think Champs. I'm your host, RAS IZES. This is my brethren.
I'm the Zon.
Next brethren.
Kara.
And this is the Think
Champs.
Champs. Yes, indeed. Peace and blessings all checking in. We also live on Instagram, so if you have questions, do pose a question. We're here for that. So definitely the topics we're focused on right here, right now, is going to be mainly about Ethiopia and Rastafari and the times we are in right now. Because these are the times now where ones will be tuning in. Because what I realized during this time, enough things are shut down and closed, you know what I mean, through the panic that's taking place on the earth, you know. Yeah, because them calling it a pandemic, I tell you, them a panic. That's what's going on.
Panic.
Yeah, them a panic right now. There's no pandemic. Them a panic, you know. Yeah, man. So as them a panic, we'll continue giving you things that's going to help you think and stay focused. So we focus right now. We in March, which they call, they have, this is the Women's Month, right?
International Women's Month.
International Women's Month, right? So this International Women's Month shouldn't even be a topic without a woman named Empress Rosario Menen, okay? Which was His Imperial Majesty's Empress, right?
Queen Omega.
Yes, who sits there beside His Imperial Majesty. And enough of y'all don't even know who the queen is. We're talking about Queen Sheba. We're talking about same bloodline as Queen Sheba, which we dating back far, far in time, from the beginning of time, you know. Like I told you before, Ethiopia is the original foundation of creation. That's where the first man, first woman came from.
Tigris and Euphrates.
Right? Now look here. Even in this very time right now, you know, Ethiopian Airlines, the only airlines flying, you know.
Yes, I fire.
All the airlines shut down between Ethiopian Airlines and a few Turkish airlines. That's all that's flying right now, you know.
Internationally.
Yeah, internationally. Everything else shut down.
Fire.
So we living in a serious time, people. We need to really in tune to our roots and realize Ethiopia is only still flying because they're free to fly. There's a free independent country, hot fireball, hot red flames. Because Ethiopia is a free independent country, she's free to fly around the world right now.
From Babylon.
You see what I'm saying? Because this is a free independent enterprise, we're able to be open right now and still close to each other as we are right now, you know. Because what we deal with is a brotherly and a sisterly love, you know. As black people, let me ask you this. When it was ever harmful for us to come together in numbers? Right? Never a time, right?
When do we stay inside like we from the caves?
Oh, that never happened. How about this? How many people were packed tighter than 10 feet apart when we came over here in ships? Huh? We in feces and all kind of things. They brought us over in ships, right?
Still no virus.
And we survived all that. Now you're going to tell me that I have to be hidden away from society as if the Most High haven't blessed me under the sun. You know the original sun kiss, right? Was you. The sun was kissing you. Your skin. Being an Ethiopian, being a melanated being, you're the original sun kiss.
Yes, sir.
You know, so focus on these European ways and thinking, letting the boss think for you. You'll think you're sick right now. You know, because the boss sick, you still want to be sick too.
Fire.
But we living in a day and time where all these things are collapsing right before their eyes.
Judgment.
And they never want to admit that. Let me ask you this question. So if coronavirus was so serious, right? How come the homeless is still outside and not sick? They out there day and night.
No inside to go to.
Rain, sleet, or snow, right?
Freezing.
What about the animals? We had any animals come up
The
on
animals
coronavirus
out-
and dying?
They mating right now. It's mating season.
I know about you know.
They out active.
Even the bats still are climbing in numbers since this came from bats and all these things here. The bats are still living.
The flowers still growing. Everything blossoming right now. The pollen count is the highest it's ever been in Georgia right now.
Ooh, and that's the blessing. That's the blessing that the Most High has gave you. He showered you with blessings this whole year. From all December, you've just been showered with blessings on the earth. You didn't even know what was going on. All you did was want to complain. It's raining. It's raining too much. It's gonna rain this week. It rained last week. It's gonna rain again. Yeah, that rain actually kept down the pollen count. It knocked those pollens out the air and it cleared the earth. You know, all that rain that was falling. But now that the rain isn't falling, where them pollen counts at now?
The plants love the rain.
Okay?
They love it. While y'all was complaining, the plants was rejoicing.
Right. And now that the rain has stopped, all the plants now are doing what they're supposed to do. Pollinate. Bees are around too. Bees flying. I ain't see no bees dropping dead.
Ain't no bees dead. The bees is out here
No butterflies either.
They actually living better because man has been in his cave and in his home for this period of time. As long as he stay off the planet heals itself naturally.
See, la.
You know? One thing they don't show you about any of these movies you watch, they'll show you the ending of all these movies and what's going to happen at the end of the world and all this, right? But what they'll never show you is that the meek shall inherit the earth.
They don't show you their judgment.
They'll never show you that righteousness shall cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. You know, because that's the finishing of this judgment, you know. That's what this is going to seal off. So just think about this. Let me give you something to think about. True, we on the think, Champs, right?
Thank you.
Do you think that these people spent all this time, money, and resources to build all they did with this gentrification and taking over all black neighborhoods and pushing us out and leaving us on the street homeless, you know, just no way out, and then they're not going to be able to enjoy it for themselves?
Shut down.
You think they're gonna push you out, build up great cities, and now they ain't gonna be able to enjoy it for themselves?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium shut down, gentrified all of Atlanta for the Benz
What's
Stadium.
gonna happen is all these things are gonna collapse before their very front eyes. You know what I mean? It's going down right now as we speak. Dow Jones dropped so bad they had to shut down Wall Street. They said, shut it down. We can't take it no more. It's dropping so much. Please just shut it down. How you got charged to shut down Wall Street? That's supposed to be the world's money, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
The first stock was a slave.
Yes, sir. How you gonna shut it down because you don't
like
like
my
how?
spliff, man.
Fire. Yeah, man. How you gonna shut it down because you don't like how the trading going in your favor?
Right.
You know, the thing is set up in a way where if it goes so low, the alarm starts sounding. And they can never turn the alarm off, like a fire alarm, if the ice cooking or bubbling something at the house and the alarm just keep going off, you know?
Yeah.
And you can't shut it off, so what you do? Take the battery out of them, right?
Reset.
So they shut down the market because it was dropping too much. They couldn't get the alarm to shut off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I. So, you know, I give thanks to the Most High, Baba Janai Eli, Selassie, the first King Rastafari, first ancient king of creation. Yes, I, the root of David, the bright and morning star, and the light of the world. Selah. Yes, I, I'm the son, and I hailing from Selma, Alabama, coming in the footsteps of I forerunner, the great Ethiopian master teacher, Dr. Realist Nathaniel Huggins. Yes, you know, the man coming to defend the rights of Ethiopia before the League of Nations. You know, he come to usher in the African curriculum, the first one to get in them sound. They said, how can you have an educational system without it being an African curriculum? Because all education or education come from Africa. All inspiration that come from Africa. So
Right. All culture come from
that's where he go to them. He tell them, how can you set up a educational system without mentioning Africa? This is bogus. You know, he tell them back that in 1920.
And now their school shut down.
Right?
Judgment.
Yeah, so Dr. Huggins, you know, he was the forerunner in that right there. You know, and that's why we get that Black History Month. Because he was born in February. So they honor him after his assassination. You know, they assassinated him, you know, on December 23rd, 1940. You know, for the work that he did on behalf of Ethiopia, defending the territorial rights and sovereignty of Ethiopia. When Italy and Mussolini invaded the country, they invaded the country, and they, you know, when they come up with when they send someone to, they call a peace, and they send someone down to the front to see which force was the belligerent one. You know, who started this, which one is in the wrong and which one is in the right. You know, what do I call it? You know, when
Justice, judgment.
When they
Oh, Democratic.
when they send someone down, when you have two people fighting in a war, and they have to stop the war now, and they send the UN send people down there
Missionaries. Well,
to see
Peacekeeper.
to see who is right and who is wrong.
liaison.
Yeah, to try to say what's going on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he telling them
Yeah.
that he the first one come with that sound.
Mhm.
You know, Willis Nathaniel Huggins, he go and tell the League of Nations, y'all have to stop this and you have to send the people down there to see what's the problem here. What's the mediation? You know what I mean? To mediate the thing. You know, who is in the wrong, who is in the right. And he give them that. And he also tell them in the 20th century, if you do not right by this thing right here, and you call yourself Christians, it is a great judgment
Judgment fire.
that will come upon them,
What's up?
even greater than the transatlantic slave trade. Because we're in the world of new enlightenment time, and now we have a barbaric invasion of the only independent country in Africa in 1930 and 1935, Ethiopia. You know, yeah. So I give thanks. I tried it from Selma, Alabama, in the footsteps of that great master Ethiopian teacher, Willis Nathaniel Huggins. Yes. So I give thanks. And this time, my brethren said forward, you know, we said Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. It said, come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers in her plagues and her sins. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High has rewarded her, even as she have rewarded you. And the cup mixed double unto her, as she mixed unto you. So we speaking of, in this turn, Babylon, Mystery Babylon the Great. Right? So the judgment coming in this time is the comma. You know, because we said we're looking at everything through the iridical eye.
Yes, sir.
We're looking at the iridical eye and the plagues that shall come upon this time.
Coronavirus judgment plague.
In this time. So we said these are repercussions of the Babylonian captivity that I and I must go through. But I and I, as a people, black people, when I say black people, I mean the Ethiopian people, because when you say you're black, you're saying you're an Ethiopian, brown-skinned, curly-haired one who believe in ethics, and you have a morality that a higher power is working in your life from the foundation of it. So you can be from any range of your spirituality, but you still are Ethiopian because you believe in the morality and the Mosaic law, the basic law, what I said. You know, the basic law, where we all come together in peace, love, and in meekness.
It's true.
You know? So I give thanks to be here in this time, you know, be amongst my brethren, RAS IZES, you know, and you know, it's just, it's a nice sound to hear, you know, ones coming together and talking about the blackness and the black businesses and everything that I and I deal with in this time. When everything shut down, we knew this day would be coming, right? And it's a judgment and an eye-opener. Because a lot of ones disagreed when His Majesty established the Ethiopian Airlines, which had the Lion of Judah crest upon them. Had the Lion of Judah crest upon His Majesty planes, Ethiopian Airlines. And now when this judgment come through, that's the only lifeline to leave here to go to Africa. You know, the stretched out hand still. The hand is still stretched out for the children.
It's prophecy.
You know, the hand is still stretched out for the children. Them. You know, yeah. So I give thanks, you know, to know of these things. But I not tarrying. I not panicking in this time. Because in this time, one should already have yourself aridically inclined for this judgment. Because right now it's a judgment Passover. It's passing over this house. It's licking this house. It's passing over this house. It's licking this house. passing over this house, or licking this house. Just as in the time of Egypt and bondage. And the man said, pass over, put the blood of the lamb over your door. So you know the spirit of death pass over the house. Because the house is in alignment with the natural reality of the universe. You know? So we're in alignment with the national reality, the natural reality of the earth. You know? So when man say religion, we're not dealing with no religion. Rasta, I'm tell you, Rasta not a religion. This is the spirituality reality. And how the liberation of Africa come forward. So I would say it's crucial for us to know how Africa was liberated and who led that liberation movement. At the helm of the liberation movement in Africa, His Imperial Majesty Baba Janai, our father, Haile Selassie I, King Rastafari. Yes, he came forward with the OAU. You know,
which stands for
the Organization of African Unity.
Yeah. The United Nations.
Yes, you know, because His Majesty wanted them to come together and promulgate an order to safeguard the rights of our international states, whether small or big, you know. And this all coming after the scramble for Africa. I don't know how many of them know about the Berlin Conference, all these things, but you know, we go through these things in their schools, but yet they don't spend much time on these things, you know, so we really can understand some of these things and how they really occur. They tell it from a one-sided way, you know. So
They barely tell it. Like I said, one-sided. It's real one-sided because you barely hear about it. You know, you hear about all their history, but even in most schools in Africa, you know, they had to alleviate American history, you know, out of the school system.
It's false.
Because they realized that it was a false way of teaching, and it didn't coincide.
It wasn't our story.
With the Bible and everything, it didn't coincide with it.
Yes,
So they literally banned history, his story actually. They banned his story.
So our story can come through.
So we can fulfill our story.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
That's a true sound for I and I in this time. So it's a crucial time for I and I. Long time we've been talking about eating ITAL, you know, eating with the strength to get your goodie up. Get your goodie up and get in preparation for things are to come. And so you can have a good, you know, youthful existence, all the I existence, you know. But we tried and forth, the man eating Ito. When you say you got over 7 years now, you're eating Ito 7 years, you see the transformation that go on taking place in your body for how the eye is thinking, you know. And then if you have to get the cardiovascular workout with that yet still. You know, whether that's be walking, running, you know, exercising, yoga, whatever the eye do to free up, you know, along with eating healthy and right, you know, because now all these ones been eating the meat, you know, I remember a long time they tell us, you know, milk does a body good.
Right.
And they had the milk mustaches, I remember.
Right.
All the athletes are taking part in the vibe too. They had all the commercials.
They get a check.
Said a milk does the body a good, and every time they drink a milk, they leave a mustache right there, you know. And we know how milk does a body good when it's full of mucus and blood.
True.
You know, fireball hot.
For real.
And now the man catching a licking because of the blood, because the blood carrying the bacteria. You know, so we don't want to deal with nothing that have the blood in there. And then when you have the blood, you're cooking the meat, and you have the cooked blood. Now you done made it more toxic.
Right.
Because the cooked blood is poison.
Right, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
It turns into carbon dioxide. Cooked blood.
True.
Yeah. And they tell you a long time you stop eating the gristle and the bone matter and all them things still, you know. So I give thanks in this time for the ones, and I know. You know who you are, because those who feel it knows it. You know, so it's not a secret, you know. It's just sight for I say those who lavish in the Babylonian wealth, they come to find out that that's not their wealth. Because your health is your wealth.
True.
Huh?
Strictly,
So I give thanks to be here to the sound here, and I give it over to the forward eye.
Rastafari. Give thanks. Yeah, we're gonna also build on quick reasoning as well, just to keep the cipher flowing about how we can spend this time right now, handling our own business, and worrying about how we can figure out to establish our own credits and things too, where we can benefit out of this thing during this time instead of wasting this time, because like I said, the boss is sick right now, so he's not allowing you to go to his jobs, so therefore you can utilize this time to either strengthen your project, whether it's building a website, or whether it's building a project, something you should be doing right now with your time and resources to prepare yourself for not depending on someone. You know what I mean? Even if you're not in that state now, you should be preparing yourself, because this is the time we get to see that the system is collapsing and we don't have investments in certain things and we're not stable. We've been to the point is we've been focusing on all these other people's sports, arenas and, everything they have going out to distract us. Athletes, right?
Bollywood.
Yeah, Bollywood, next movie coming out, how much billions we gonna spend into this and that.
And figure Wild's got the best iPhone.
So now in this day and time when McDonald's still serving, he's still serving $1 billion, but guess what? He's giving it away right now.
Giving.
Yeah, he's giving it away. He can't sell it. He's giving it away. He's feeding all the peoples in the hospitals, all the doctors and nurses. He has to give that to them right now. That's what McDonald's is doing in this day and time. Because end of the day now they sick. Because you eat McDonald's, which ain't a healthy food. You see what I'm saying? So now you sick. You wonder what's going on.
Yes,
You
sir.
putting your trust in man, like he gonna give you something. Hospitality will kill you, Hospitality will kill you. Someone you go to their house, they offer you something, knowing you're not supposed to eat that
Right.
or drink that.
Right.
But true, so you at someone's house and they say, come on, I have it for you, just go out and take it, and you take it. Wind up losing your life. Somebody be in hospital to you and you wind up in the hospital. Yeah, so watch hospitality. It'll kill you for real, for real. But definitely though, build with them, my brethren, because it's a good time for them to soak in some knowledge.
Bless up. I just want to give thanks to RAS IZES, RAS AMDI, and the sister Black Dollar TV. So what I'm here to talk about is what the brother Diligent on episode 8 alluded to, the credit and personal credit. And not just that, what Ross Isaac said, now that we have this time alone with our family, away from all of the Follywood, from Babylon, we don't have no choice but to focus and get in tune with ourselves and in tune with spirit. So how many of us have been having dreams? Have you been dreaming? If you've been dreaming, you have to decode your dreams. Use the African dream symbols. Dreammoods.com is a good website. Decode your dreams and see how the spirit is really trying to talk to you through your dreams, because that's ancient spirituality. The spirit moves in different ways, and dreams is one of the ways that they communicate with us. So now, with the finances, they had the Great Depression almost 100 years ago, where they switched over the money system. So now this is what's happening right now. The Neanderthal primate clones are sick. They're not people. They're not people, okay? They're clones. Their birth rate has been negative since the 1980s. Then they came up with artificial insemination. And even before that, Hitler was trying to clone the master race. If you do your research on Hitler, these are all the things you need to be doing while you in quarantine. Research Hitler's master race. Research how Hitler was summoning demons. The demon that he was summoning is what they call artificial intelligence. You got organic intelligence, which is the natural black mind represented by Selassie and his greatness and the lineage that he carried, the blood from the origin and the code that's embedded in the DNA to be cleanly, to be in tune with nature. He dealt with the bees, the lion, he dealt with all of nature, all of humanity. The things that he left and the example that he set, even his wife, all come from the same lineage, from the feminine aspect. That's African. Not just the man is powerful, but both masculine and feminine principles is powerful to create the balance. So this is the things we had to come back to in this quarantine as the Neanderthal primates go back to their caves, they've been cloning themselves so much, now they sick and weak, their immune system weak. The same viruses that they made 40 years ago is now killing them because they're not even the same being now. They done cloned themselves for 40 years. Now the virus they made 40 years ago for that type of Neanderthal primate clone is killing this Neanderthal primate clone 40 years later. So this is what's going on. So now this is how we take advantage of it as the Africans here in this Babylonian system, still trying to be truth, rights, and justice. Like my man RAS IZES, an entrepreneur, you know, me, myself, an entrepreneur. We still striving to conduct our business so that we can protect ourselves and our families and provide for ourselves without having to ask for a handout or government assistance. So now every catastrophe, every stock market crash, a millionaire is made. That's because they know that the stock market is going to crash every 10 years or so. So the thing is, you invest on the stocks that are for the businesses that's going to be the big forerunners in the new wave. When everything switch over, it's going to be all about autonomous vehicles. It's going to be all about free energy, solar power. It's going to be all about space travel, time warp systems, 5G networks, deep learning. So these companies that are the forerunners of the chips that's going to run this type of technology, the forerunners of the people who have the resources like Tesla to build spaceships, Virgin Atlantic, Boeing. These are the companies that their stocks are low right now, but in the next 5 years, if you invest now, 5 years, you will be a millionaire. So this is how millionaires are made, by capitalizing on the crisis that we're experiencing right now. When the stock market is at its low, this is the time you buy. But don't just buy anything. Do your research and buy for the future. And when everything gets better in the future, so shall you. Now, the next thing that happens in the stock market crashes, and you just realize that the government has put all interest rates to zero. Interest rates is what you have to pay when you borrow money, or what they pay you when you save your money in their institutions. They pay you interest on your money, or if you take out a loan, or if you got a credit card and you use it, if you don't pay your bill on time, it accrues interest. When you take out a loan for a car, if you don't pay your car payment on time, it accrues interest, and the fact that your credit score is low, your interest rate is going to be higher when you take out the car loan to get the car originally than a person who has good credit. Their interest rate is going to be much lower. But now, in the crisis, the interest rate is zero. So now, this is the perfect time for you to get your credit together. Now, as the brother Diligent was alluding to last show, he was showing that you can get a credit card, pay your bills on time, and it'll boost your credit. So now, to be clear, I want to show the family that this is the YouTube video you go to, and it's going to show you that this is the credit cards that no matter what your credit score is, once you go to this YouTube, and it's on my Facebook business page, Blam Credit Repair Services. So you can go to Blam Credit Repair Services, where we can actually help you repair your credit, or you can watch the video and you can learn how to do it yourself. So when you go to that video, it's going to give you 3 options for you to choose that no matter what your credit score is, one of those options is going to work for you. You follow the procedure, you get the card, you use the card, and you pay your bill on time. 30 to 60 days, you see your credit score go up. So now the personal credit is minute compared to the business credit, like the brother Diligent was referring to in the first episode 8. Now episode 9, 9 is completion. 8 is build, or destroy, but 9 is completion. So I'm gonna complete the other half of what the brother Diligent was alluding to. So now this next site I'm gonna put you on shows you how to monitor both your personal and your business credit. So not only will you be able to look at your business credit, but you also, on your personal credit, you also be able to look at your business credit. This is the website right here. It's called NAV nav.com helps you set up all of that. So once you set your business up formally with the LLC or the corporation and your EIN number, and then you have your personal credit, you use your personal credit to either get a business credit card when you open up the bank account for your business, and if that doesn't work because they still try to give you some hassle, they will still allow you to get a secured business credit card. So if they give you the hassle and you got to get the secured business credit card, that's still good. Because with your bank account, your business bank account, as long as you do good by the secured business credit card for a year, it will transition into an actual credit card for your business. So you will go from secured, and then in a year's time, you'll go from unsecured to a regular credit card. And your business credit and your personal credit is reviewed, and as long as your credit score and your payment history is sufficient, it goes up every 6 months. So that means if you have a personal credit card value of $2,000, in 6 months they review it, it goes up to $4,000. It doubles on your personal credit. Your business credit, however, if you start off, they're not going to start you off with a $1,000 or $2,000. They're going to play big. They're going to put some pressure on you because they want you to lose and pay back the interest rate. That's how they make their money. But if you pay it on time, they're going to start you off with a $10,000 to put the pressure on you because it's a business. They know business has expenses. You got payroll, you got product, you got all type of expenses, taxes, fees, everything, insurance. So they know that your business is going to require way more overhead than you as a person. So they give you $10,000, but after 6 months, it's not going to go to 20. They're going to try to put 30 or 50 on you. They're going to try to put the pressure on you. So the only thing you have to do is stay in your African mind and say, hey, I don't need all of this. What I do need is maybe 10,000 out of the 50,000. Take care of some things, pay that back on time. And even though I'm worth 50,000, and in 6 months it's going to go up to 150,000, I'm just going to stay within what I need. Yes, I'm worth 150,000 on paper, but that's credit. Remember, credit is not real. It's only real if you can pay for it. So if you got $10,000 in credit, but you can only pay for $500 worth, then that's how much you use. You don't use the whole $10,000. You only use what you can pay for. But it's good that you got it, though. You got access to it if you need it. To where if you got a project coming up and you know that it's going to make you some money, you can't pay for it now, but you know this project can pay for it if it's set up right. And now you have the resources to make sure it's set up right and make sure that it makes the money so where you can pay your bills on time. And the best thing about credit, even if you can't pay all the money on time, as long as you pay just a little over the required amount every month. They have a required amount you got to pay every month. But if you just pay the required amount, that reflects poorly on your score. But if you pay just a little over, 50 cents over, $1 over, then it still keeps your credit score in good standings. So this is the things that we need to know in this time as far as the interest rates, all of these things going on with the money. They're giving us $1,200 and all of this money. That's not going to do you any good. They printing the money out of thin air. By the time America get this money in 3 weeks, the price of everything is going to be double, triple. When you go to the grocery store now, you already seen an increase in prices on certain things, especially toilet tissue. The price of toilet tissue has done triple, threefold since this whole thing went down. So by the time we get our $1,200 or whatever it is, everything is going to follow that same pattern. The recession is really going to hit, and all of this printed money is going to show in the inflation of prices. But your credit, no matter what the inflation is, your credit is always going to have you in a space of abundance, especially your business credit. And so the other thing is, along with the stocks, is the cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, was made in 2008 from the last recession, to where now they know that they have to have a digital currency that's open source to the people and is free to everyone to use. No foreign exchange fees, no fees to spend peer-to-peer or send money from peer-to-peer. Everything is free. And it's the best investment of the 21st century. When Bitcoin first came about, it was only 15 cents a coin. Now it's valued at 6,000 a coin. And it had already peaked at 20,000 a coin. No investment known to man ever went from 15 cents upwards to 20,000. Nothing has ever did that. not even dope. So now the whole world has been fighting Bitcoin, but this recession, this pandemic, this spirit moving through the coronavirus has shut the whole world market down. But guess what? The Bitcoin is still there because that's what it was made for. Once this dollar falls and the inflation hit, the Bitcoin is going to skyrocket. So that's another thing that you should invest in. And not just Bitcoin, research all cryptocurrencies. Because the cryptocurrency is based off of blockchain technology, which is a certified checks and balance ledger, to where anything that you do, any transaction that you do, it makes a secured, certified record of that nobody can hack or decode. So all the services, now they got a blockchain technology for energy, a blockchain technology for the health system, under different coins. So once you understand what each coin represents and how it's going to be a major part of this new movement that we're going to face in society, once everything changes over, what they're doing right now, then you're going to be the one sitting at the top with the good stock investments, the good crypto investments, and investing in your business credit and your personal credit right now through the tools that we just shared with you is what's going to help you in the end. You can go to my Facebook page, Blam Credit Repair Service, and you can see all of the information there. And you can go to my website, blampromocode.com, and sign up to that email list, and we can email you the information directly to your email. And now I just want to pass it back over to RAS IZES. I want to give thanks. It's judgment time. I'm happy to be alive in this hour to witness the judgment for myself. Nobody's at the Vatican praying for healing. Nobody's at the cobblestone praying for healing. None of the priests, the Vatican, the Pope himself is at the hospitals praying over the people for healing. Ain't no God in them people. And if the coronavirus hits you, ain't no God in you either. It's judgment time. Bless up, peace, and back to the brother RAS IZES. Thank CHAMPS. We thanking over here.
For real. Give thanks for that positive sound, man. For real. Give thanks, for real. We need that. Because anything that's going to help us benefit, you know what I mean, in this time, man, it's a blessing. And we can't wait for someone to teach us and tell us these things, you know. They doing these things for themselves, you know, and helping one another get forward, but we ain't passing this information to one another. You know, we barely talking and speaking to one another. So we thankful for this time still, for we able to even come together, build on this knowledge, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take a little break. We're going to come forward again. And this is the Think Champs. Respect.